I was lost. I was a young man that I had a family, but we was broke. And I needed things that everybody else had. I mean, simple things, I wasn't like I was getting the lavish stuff out of it. I was just surviving.
We try to understand who was affected by you going to prison. Who did you leave behind? Who was affected by your crimes? What would you say as far as the who?
Well, at that time, it was just me and my grandfather. He raised me. I'm sure my family kind of felt affected by it, but the person most affected by it was me. Because again, I didn't know what I was walking into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I knew that I wasn't gonna tuck my tail. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. Now, lastly, we try to find out the why. When you look in front of a judge, you've been, aggravated robbery, you're stealing cars. When you ask yourself, why did I end up here? Whether it goes back to lack of parenting, trying to be down for, the hood, trying to impress a girl for the money.
Right.
What would you say was the why that led you to sit in front of that judge right there?
Honestly, I just think it was the lifestyle. I was hungry. I was hungry. I had to do what I had to do at that time to survive as well. I wasn't stealing the cars for popularity. I was stealing the cars to make my bites, to move me around, to make things better for me. And I wasn't stealing cars and dating women. You know what I mean? Taking them on dates. I was using cars for other things too. I'd rather not speak on, but we would snatch them cars up and use cars for things.
How much would you get for just an average stolen car, depending on what kind of car it was?
Yeah, again, I wasn't stealing them to sell them.
Oh, you weren't chopping them down?
I was stealing them to use them in a shooting.
The aggravated, you said aggravated assault or aggravated robbery?
Aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon.
What was that scenario, okay, if you could speak on that as far as what happened in that situation?
Well, once I found out that a pistol could make a man break, that was my ticket at that time. And I know I don't want to sit here and feel like...
Yeah, we're not glorifying none of this.
No, I'm not glorifying it. I was lost. I was a young man that I had a family, but we was broke. And I needed things that everybody else had. I mean, simple things, I wasn't like I was getting the lavish stuff out of it. I was just surviving.
Were you banging in high school?
Right. First, when I first jumped off the porch, man, I was with this little clique called PLM, right? And this is really before the Bloods and the Crips really kicked off. But I'm from the hood, and where I'm from, actually, I grew up in Poly, which is right beside Eastwood, but it was predominantly a black area. Yeah. You know what I mean? So all my partners was black my whole life. So I went to this school called Pascal because I got put out of Poly for carrying a pistol. So when I finally got back to go to school, Poly wouldn't even accept me no more.
Yeah.
So I had to go to another school, and they sent me to Pascal because my dad said he's gonna try to save my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Even being in school, again, even being part of a clique, again, you a white boy, you tough.
Right.
Did you have to get in a lot of altercations with either your race, with the other race?
Not really. I was accepted from the jump. Before the gangs even started, I was already a hood baby.
Yeah.
Like everybody knew me. All my partners knew me. So before the gangs even got kicked off, I had homeboys that when we grew up, they went the other way. In other words, when it all jumped off, I had partners on both sides of the fence. See, I didn't really just get real active until until they killed my family, Donnie Mayo, Misty Mayo out of Fort Worth. And the way it happened and the way it went down, I was already wilding out. So I went in. And at that time, it just kind of escalated from there.
Did you get a rush or excitement from the terror you were causing?
Oh yeah. I used to love it. I ain't gonna lie. That was and again, I'm not.
Yeah, again, we're not glorifying this.
I'm not glorifying it now. I made a lot of mistakes, but yeah, when I put that Pyru love on, and we riding, and that's the honest truth, man. That's just how it went down. But yeah, I definitely got a rush.
Did you Did you sleep easy at night? You get out there, boom. Did you just sleep like a baby, or you like?
No, I had lots of bad dreams, nightmares, and visions of my own death.
Oh wow!
Because everybody expected me to be gone. I was on Channel 11 Crime Stoppers in Fort Worth. You know, I was in the newspaper.
Yeah.
I had made all that happen, and I really, in my own mind, when they kept telling me I wasn't gonna, you know, make it to 21, I believed that myself. So I just went harder.
Yeah, most for those who's watching this back in the 90s, to live to see 21 was like a pipe dream for a lot of young men.
Right.
That was out here. So you never had any type of goal after 21, like no, when I'm 32, I'm gonna be doing this. You just
No, I didn't think I was gonna make it to 32. God's good. You know, when again, my life changed when 88 Dawg was born.
Yeah.
My life changed. At that point, I realized I had a purpose. Until that day, I was slinging that iron that night. Matter of fact, I was late to the hospital because I was getting us some money. And then when she called and I got to the hospital, he was popping out. But when he got in my arms, it changed my whole life. My whole life at that moment. At that moment, I was fighting demons.
Damn, you still had gunpowder residue on your hands
finger.
while you holding your son.
While I'm holding my son, for sure.
Man, that's why. Oh, you say you want to sit in on? Yeah. All right, he's grab the green chair.
Sit next to him?
Yeah, go ahead and pull up next to him. Yeah, he said, hey, as we speak on him, the artist 88 Dawg, man, he gonna sit in through this one, man.
Right.
Right there. It's a blessing. All right. So let's talk about it, man. You know, normally we have the situation, and before you went into actually do your prison stay, how many times you have been in jail, just like your regular jail? You know, I went to jail a few times, but I really wasn't one of them type. I really wasn't getting caught up for everything that was happening. By the time I was, you know, I went to jail maybe 3 or 4 times, but again, you got to understand, I went to jail at 17. Yeah.
That's the legal age to go. Actually, you ain't going to Kimbo no more. You're going to jail. And that's when I went to jail, as soon as I hit the age to go to jail.
Yeah. All right, let's do it like this. You know, once you're about to fight this case, you gotta, I'm sure you gotta, what they call it, the paid attorney, or you got a public defender or whatever.
Paid attorney. You know, my dad was a construction worker. I had to work, but I got my first attorney was Charles Roach.
Okay.
And I remember him, he told me right then I was in trouble. I was hoping to get a little probation and get up out of there. That wasn't the case.
He said he's letting you know, like, this ain't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get no probation.
Damn.
And then, you know, I was already confirmed gang member in the city, so at a young age, you know what I mean? They were bothering me daily. The task force would just ride